Revival. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Revival. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Revival Initiative. What's an initiative?
Hello, good friends of Internet Land. My name is Mike Ryan, and I'm the host of the Revival Initiative. Today is episode 6 in week number 2. How is everybody doing out there? Are you having fun yet? I hope so. Today on the show, we have 3 awesome guests, like always. First up, we have the Skeleton Club. Their bio reads, if you're reading this, it's too late. I have no idea what that means, but they do have new music coming out, so stay tuned for that. Also on the show today, we have Sarah Ellen Morrison. Her band blends soul, R&B, jazz, rock, and has no fears of pushing the limits in terms of boundaries. And they're also a sextet. That means there's 6 people in the band. I had to look that up. I wasn't quite too sure what sextet meant, but it means there's 6 people in the band. And 3 of those 6 people are actually NSCC music grads. So that's pretty cool to see. Lastly on the show today we have Ian James. Ian is a singer-songwriter, producer, and musician out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. He's had some big placements in terms of his music, such as the show Nashville. He's won a bunch of awards and very successful on the East Coast and around the world. So, get ready. This is going to be a blast. You're going to learn a lot and you're going to enjoy some awesome music. Let's dig in.
The Revival Initiative. So, the first tune I'm going to do is a song called New Words. This was written in 2013 in Ontario with Lonnie Wallace and her dad, Bill Wallace. I love this tune. It was one of the first co-writes I did for my last record, Yes Man. And every time I play it, I think about writing it and how before the write I had no ideas, but I forced myself to sit down and come up with something so that I could feel prepared when I went to the session. So to me, every time I play this, I think about co-writing and how it's so good for you artistically and creatively, because it forces you to have a deadline and need to have something good, an idea, a melodic idea, a verse, something to get going with, and it puts you to work. So I had right up until the first chorus written in this song, and it remains unchanged. So this is New Words.
Empty words, hollow hearts, wrong turns and false starts. Seems I was just paying dues, waiting for the likes of you. And it's an old cliche when living in. Can't tell when you end and I begin. But my heart won't stop pounding. My blue moon's up and gone. We searched for love and found it, like new words to an old song. Now it's a wild night in the right way, a new take on a new day, a cool rain or the warm sun, a sweet dream for the long run. And it was worth the wait, 'cause what is time when you're searching for the perfect rhyme? 'Cause my heart won't stop pounding. My blue moon's up and gone. We searched for love and found it, like new words to an old song. 'cause my heart won't stop pounding. My blue moon's up and gone. We searched for love and found it, like new words to an old song, like a new right to an old wrong, like new words to an old song.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're gonna do 3 songs that are totally brand new, never even played them together before now, and never released them, so you're the first ones to hear them. Be sure to DM us all of your negative criticisms of the songs so we can have a good laugh and maybe write some better ones. So the first song, 777, and Chris wrote this one.
777 is a pretty lighthearted song about chasing money, and it's got sort of a mixture of some little personal bits mixed in there, and is meant to really be interpreted in whatever way, the lines. It's sort of meant to be a song you can impose your own story on, and it's just meant to be a fun, bouncy song.
Hello, Martha.
Still, yeah, I'm jacked up, but it's not my fault. I was down in the dark to prescribe me some pills. I don't want to go for something more, but don't just be clear. You got no hip bones, I got 2 cell phones, in the end, it's getting here. Let's not kid, we've always been the same. Kids, and we all play the game. Dirty money, prescriptions, 3 sevens, jackpot win. I ain't got time to talk about fuck all. I'm too busy being broke. Downhill both ways till I get the bill. It's fun to pretend like I get the joke. I've been getting high and feeling low. Benzodiazepines. When those go, all that's left, cold sweat and vivid dreams. We're all kids, yeah, we all play the game. Dirty money, prescriptions, 3 sevens, jackpot win. We're all kids, yeah, we all play the game. Dirty money, prescriptions, 3 sevens, jackpot win.
The Revival Initiative.
Hi, hello. My name is Sarah Ellen Morrison. Normally, I have a 6-piece band, but for today, it's going to be Neil and I don't know where he is. Neil, I don't know. Today, we're going to do 2 original songs for you guys. These 2 songs are going to be on our upcoming EP that we cannot wait to get finished, and we can't wait to get it out to you guys. The 2 songs are called Love Sweats and Caught Up. Okay, so this first song that we're going to do is called Love Sweats, and it is written about the type of love that makes you sweat, the kind of love that makes your hands all clammy and your face flush and your heart race and you feel so miserably uncomfortable, but in the best way. So that's Love Sweat. So I hope you guys like it. Yay, slow, baby, slow, really slow. Yay, I wanna take all your clothes. With you is all I want to know. It's high, getting harder. I'm close. Bite my lip and say you want me. Give me love, don't take it from me. Sweet, I always you the best. You the best. Hey, slow, baby, slow. Moving slow. Yeah, give me sweet kisses from my head to my toes. And you make me see heaven so quiet when you lay. You say that I helped you sleep. Yeah, I loved you, babe. Bite my lip and say you want me. Give me love, don't take it from me. Sweet, I always you the best. You the best. You the
The Revival Initiative.
I wrote this song in Nashville, and I was on a write with two women, Danielle Bourgeot and Summer Overstreet. And we'd written the previous day and written a real up-tempo banger party song. And it's difficult in Nashville sometimes to talk people into writing ballads. I mean, truthfully, it's difficult everywhere because ballads are very, very, very hard to get onto the radio. And that's one of the only places where there's money left for a songwriter. So everybody wants to write the up-tempo, banging song. So when we were writing this, I believe it was Danielle said, let's write something, traditional that just feels like an old country song, like an old George Jones or Merle Haggard song, a real true hurtin' country song. To which I said, well, how about we just call it Country Song? And I had also gone to hear the great steel guitar legend Paul Franklin the night before performing with Vince Gill. And he just tore my heart out with his playing. It was just so spectacularly beautiful. So that's where the lyric "crying like a steel guitar" comes from, because it just, after hearing Paul the night before, it was just burned into my emotional psyche, I guess you would say, the feeling of how lonesome the steel guitar sounds in those classic country songs.
There ain't no house party here tonight, no shooters and bright neon lights. The whole house is empty, you're broke and you've been me, just sitting and drinking alone. Won't be no tailgates and stars, just four walls and my broken heart. Like so many before me, I ended the story. It's just me, Truth and George Jones, spinning these old records and cried like a steel guitar. Holding on to your memory instead of holding you in my arms. 'Cause I was a fool and I did you wrong, and it hurts like an old country song. And this bed feels 1,000 miles wide. You know where for the lonely to hide. Turning and tossing, 'cause I had it all and lost it. The man in the mirror to blame. Spinning these old records, crying like a steel guitar. Holding on to your memory instead of holding you in my arms. 'Cause I was a fool and I did you wrong, and it hurts like an old country song. And it hurts like an old country song.
The Revival Initiative.
And the last song is called Magic Beach.
Yeah, for this one, this was pretty interesting on drums because the whole thing has a fairly quarter note pulse throughout, but it was Chris's idea to sort of change the groove, going into the second verse and let the song evolve a bit, and I found that was pretty interesting to do on drums, and by changing the hi-hat from quarters to eighths to sixteenths, and then doing a lot of offbeat second snare and tom thing. So there's a pretty cool rhythmic momentum in the song, especially in the chorus.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun. I like the drum fills, and there's a lot of drum fills
Yeah,
on this track.
Pretty interesting challenge for coordination too, to be able to play the hi-hat constantly and play around the kit at the same time.
That's the same place I left my money. Cooper Trooper, you stay in your shell when it's sunny. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so. I think I'm having fun, but then again I'm not so.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Next up, we'll be playing another original called Caught Up. Caught Up was written about meeting up with an ex. You know it is not the best situation for you and your well-being. You know you should not go back there. However, you are caught up in old feelings and old love. Okay, so that's Caught Up. I want to dedicate this song to those of you out there who have restrained themselves from texting an ex during, social isolation. Times are tough, times are tough. What can we say? All right, this is Caught Up. I haven't seen you for quite some time. You still think about me every day, all the time. I'm caught up on a feeling, hung up on a fight. I'm open at the seams, and so you're moving to my mind. If I loved you how you wanted, if I kissed you in your car, if I took you back to my place and I showed you all my scars, would you love me how you wanted? Would you sink into the cut? I've been played dead, don't you see that? Loving you just hurts too much, but I'm caught up on a feeling, hung up on a fight. I'm open at the seams, and so you're moving to my mind. I'm caught up on a feeling, you caught me, I feel stuck, and thinking about your loving and the way we used to,
Okay, welcome to Revival Revelations, the part of the episode where we dig deep with the artists to find a little bit more about them.
Revival Revelations.
Why is making music important to you?
That's a difficult question to answer in a way, because I don't really remember any time in my life when I wasn't making music. I mean, even when my children were small and I wasn't gigging all the time, I was still writing and I was still listening and devouring music and singing songs in my head and listening to music when I was doing construction over the years. So for me, it's just sort of who I am more than what I do. I know that sounds like a cliche, but you know, cliches are often true.
What is one thing you know now but wish you knew when you first started your career in music?
I mean, we wrote a lot. We wrote a lot of original stuff when we were younger, but I just wish I wrote more. I just wish I'd like spent all of my time doing that and just weeding out all the shit that I didn't want to do and sort of, you know, realizing what I liked and everything like that, and I don't know, yeah, just sort of learning from doing more original music writing when I was younger.
Yeah. For me, it would be about learning sort of more about how the industry works. I kind of wish I took like a music business course before I ever started playing drums, because there's a lot of years where you just like are playing and you're like, oh, if you make the music good enough, then the world's going to hear it. But unfortunately, that's not necessarily true. So you kind of have to like learn the ins and outs, and then that helps you with all of your releases and all your shows and everything. So
maybe our music's just really bad and nobody's listening.
That's also an option.
Yeah, there's always that.
Yeah, that probably is it.
Yeah, for me it would be focusing earlier on writing songs that are tailored to play live.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of a bummer to record it and release a song and then not be able to play it and have people wanting to hear it.
Yeah,
I wonder who does that.
80 layers of vocal harmonies that only I'm willing to sing.
Well, for one, I would never pair stilettos with mechanic coveralls at the marquee ever again, but you know, you live and you learn. So in all seriousness though, I would probably tell myself to embrace the confident woman that I am. Be confident in what you want and what you expect in business interactions, and just go for it. Yep, know what you want and go for it.
Name a local artist who's inspired you and why.
That's a difficult one because there's so many great local artists that I love. Definitely Bill Stevenson, just his musicality and his skills as a piano player and a vocalist and an interpreter of song. From a really early age, I was really inspired by Bill and his record, Shall We Call It a Night. I really dug into that hard back when I was in high school and loved that. So growing up and getting to know Bill and Tom Easley and the guys that were on that record and Chris Mitchell and getting to make music with them has been a real treat.
For this one, I'm going to say two different groups here. Van Caplan and Scientists of Sound. Live performance is probably what is most important to me, and being at both of their shows, you can just totally feel their music and their energy just coursing through your veins, and it's in both of those cases you just feel so lucky and grateful to be in that room at that time with those artists. So Ben Caplan and Scientists of Sound.
In what ways do you think we could strengthen our local music scene in Halifax?
Well, we have sort of a bit of a difficult situation here just because of our geographical isolation and the lack of population. So the rub is that what makes it such a great place to live and raise a family and has such a beautiful sense of community also is a limitation because there's only so many people to get to come out to shows. So I think just continuing to collaborate within the community and globally to make everybody better and keep putting on great shows and finding creative ways to try to get people out is going to help. I mean, more venues is great, but it's a tough road owning a venue in a small market with a limited population. So I think just staying passionate and keeping it grassroots, keeping the overhead low, and finding creative and new ways to engage our audiences is what's going to keep the scene going.
Okay. Name one local person, one local menu item, and one local album you'd like to bring with you on our next quarantine, if it ever happens. Hopefully not.
Speak of the devil.
We just
Segue.
Yeah, we just take Gabe Bower.
Gabe Bower.
Fuck yeah.
No
Charlotte
explanation needed
Bauer.
for that.
Dave Bower. Any of the Bowers. Jeremy Noble.
Eddie Bower.
Eddie Bower.
What about a local menu item that we bring with on our next quarantine?
The schnitzel sandwich from the Rose Bay General Store.
Right.
Which is my go-to for
The
about 6 months.
Sona pizza with brie and pear. Amazing.
Reppin' Riverport.
Amazing. Yeah. Check out the Rose Bay Bistro at the Rose Bay General Store.
Yeah. And
Rose Bay.
finally...
Or any haddock, any kind of haddock. That's one thing that I ate so much of in Nova Scotia that just the haddock is just so good.
What was that? What was the truck in Bridgewater?
Wally's?
Yeah, Wally.
Oh.
But it was said something.
Happy
Happy Fish,
Fish.
yeah.
Happy Fish,
Happy
yeah,
Fish
yeah,
from
totally.
Wally's. At
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew made a lot of ceviche.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And got a lot of food poisoning.
No food poisoning. No food poisoning. That was alcohol poisoning.
Oh, right. You always had both at the same time.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Okay, last question is a local album we would bring with us on our next quarantine.
I've been listening. I didn't really know who Joel Plaskett was until pretty recently, but I've been listening to him a bit. My girlfriend's from Nova Scotia, and she grew up listening to him, so I've been listening to a bunch of him lately. I think Ashtray Rock is one of his albums that I've been listening to. I think that's what it's called. I'd take that.
Yeah. The new album from Jax and Atay is really sweet.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of
videos.
good local stuff going on there.
Yeah,
really good.
Okay, so if this quarantine thing were to happen again, I've been really wanting to learn how to play the trumpet. And this may come off kind of creepy, and Andrew Jackson, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, it's definitely going to come off as creepy because he doesn't really know me that well. But I would love to be quarantined with a trumpet instructor, okay? One menu item, horsepower from the local /Seahorse /Marquee, because it's nostalgic of spending time with friends and gallivanting around Halifax. Album. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with 2010 Slowcoaster, Darkest of Discos. That album reminds me of skipping school and driving around in Sydney River, listening to Slowco. And I will never get tired of that album.
I feel like I would get myself in trouble picking one specific person. And plus, if I picked one specific person, by the end of the quarantine, I might be sick of them anyway. So I think I'm going to pass on that question, skip over it, if I can do that. In terms of menu item, I would say the Ace Burger that they sell down at Battery Park Pub in Dartmouth. Although what I miss most about it is eating it at the pub, surrounded by people in the community. So that kind of makes it not taste the same. In terms of a local album, though, that's again tricky because I do have every local album because of the miracle of streaming, which is sort of good and bad. But I mean, you know, Laura Smith, Between the Earth and My Soul, some of the older Dutch Mason records, Kim Dunn's record, Corey Tetford's record. I mean, as soon as I start saying names, I'm going to alienate a friend. So many great records, and I'm glad to have them all.
Okay, buds, hope you had a good time with episode number 6. 3 very great artists and 3 different sounds, 3 different things you can learn from. So, as always, Give them a follow on social media. Give us, the Revival Initiative, a follow on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube page. And stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to have another awesome episode coming straight at you. Thanks so much for watching, and keep the dream alive.
Revival.